Where are my damn moron sons? Blackwalder and Lothar promised to be here by midday.
They're here, my lord.
Tell them to come here, now.
But they're already here, my lord. Here, my lord. They weren't easy to carve, especially Blackwalder.
My name is Arya Stark. I want you to know that. The last thing you're ever going to see is a Stark smiling down at you as you die.
Hey guys, it's Hudzy here. It's Sunday, May 12th, it's Mother's Day, and there's only 2 episodes of Game of Thrones left. It's been such a crazy roller coaster of emotion watching the last few seasons, and I really hope you guys are just as hyped for the conclusion as I am. In my last video, we looked at leaked information from the final 2 videos that could come true, and I told you guys who I think is the reincarnation of the Azor Ahai prophecy. In today's video, I'm going to recap the leaks and predict how everything could go down at King's Landing, how I think Cersei's and Arya's respective prophecies will come true, and who will rule Westeros when it's all over. Warning, there are major spoilers ahead, and if you don't want to have the ending possibly ruined for you, don't watch. Okay guys, here's my prediction. Jon Snow will kill Daenerys by stabbing her through the heart. His sword will burst into flames, proving he is the prince that is promised. He destroyed the Whites, and he will destroy the Targaryens, bringing peace and democracy to Westeros and the start of a new era, free from the Dragonlords and all tyranny, including himself. A council will be formed from the members of the 7 kingdoms representing the faith of the 7. Bran will be on this council because of his abilities. Jon is the Song of Ice and Fire. Wow. Here's how I think all these leaks will actually come true and what exactly happens in tonight's episode and the finale. Thanks once again to the Free Folks subreddit who provided the leaks. I'll leave that link in the description. Jamie returns and is captured by an enraged Dany who just witnessed the death of Missandei. Tyrion tries to talk to Dany into freeing Jamie, but she intends to burn him alive. Jon and company arrive via the King's Road and is greeted by Tyrion, who tells him about the situation. Jon tries to reason with Dany, but it's to no avail. She's out for revenge now. Meanwhile, Tyrion frees Jamie, who then sneaks into the castle while civilians are brought into the Red Keep. Arya and the Hound also sneak in during this time. Dany threatens Tyrion, and he confesses what he knows about Varys to show his loyalty. She executes Varys, probably with Dragonfire, and this is a fitting end for Varys, and will conclude the prophecy that Dany has been betrayed 3 times. After executing Varys on Dragonstone, she'll rush Euron's fleet with Drogon and destroy it. Sorry guys, I don't think we're gonna see a flock of dragons in this episode, but let's hope. Euron will survive this attack and make his way back to Cersei. Cersei will witness Dany's destruction upon the Blackwater Bay, and Qyburn will suggest they leave via the secret passages within the Red Keep. Qyburn will then mislead her to Jamie, who will then have his final real talk with his sister. Dany will then attack King's Landing with the help of the wildfire. She'll cause a huge explosion, destroying major parts of the castle like the Mudgate. The Lannisters then signal the surrender bells, which you can see are shown in HBO's preview for the show. These bells are going to be a huge scene, and there will be a brief moment of calmness. Dany is almost shocked that it's over so soon, and she chooses no mercy, remembering Missandei's last words, Dracarys. Grey Worm sees Dany, throws a spear, and kills a Lannister soldier, because he's still mad too. Jon, who has been battling this whole time and stopped briefly during the bells, resumes fighting. Clegane Bowl goes on during this time. Clegane Bowl! Jaime tries to get Cersei to leave with him, but she refuses. Maybe this is when she says, when you play the Game of Thrones, you know. Euron interrupts their conversation and they fight for her love in a weird kind of way, resulting in Jaime killing Euron but getting fatally wounded in the process. It's too bad the writers didn't give more time to Euron. Perhaps they didn't know how big G.R.R.Martin intended his role to be in the book, or maybe they just ran out of time on the show in this season. But book Euron is totally more badass. Lots of YouTube videos have been made, and so you can go around and find those for yourself. Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if Drogon ends up destroying the Iron Throne. It would be great symbolization for what will happen next. The war will be over at this point, and Dany will start executing or imprisoning most of the enemy forces and showing little restraint or remorse. She'll also imprison Tyrion for capturing Jaime and sentence him to die. Tyrion's trial and the events leading up to it will be left for the finale, as well as a buildup of tension between Dany and Jon. I could also see Jon killing Dany at the end of tonight's episode, but we'll see. But there definitely will be a lot of buildup of who is the rightful heir to the throne. Tyrion will talk to Jon and tell him that his family will never be safe as long as Jon threatens Dany's crown. Dany then talks with the last of the Starks and they devise a plan. Jon then goes back to Dany in the Iron Throne Room. He pulls out his sword and pledges his love to her. He then stabs her with the sword through the heart, and the sword bursts into flames, creating Lightbringer. Guys, how crazy would that be? I don't know if the writers would pull this off or the show is going to pull this off, but I really want to see it happen. Drogon then carries Dany away without hurting Jon Snow because he's Targaryen. Jon will be arrested for killing the Queen, and his lineage will be kept a secret to prevent the return of future Dragon Lords, ending the Targaryen bloodline. Somebody, maybe Tyrion, then suggests they do not choose a single king and instead choose a council of representatives from the Seven Kingdoms, thus forming a democracy. This theory makes a lot of sense considering religion has always been a central theme in the novels. This council could possibly come to represent the 7 new gods in Westeros: the Father, the Mother, the Warrior, the Maiden, the Smith, the Crone, and the Stranger. This leak mentions specific people present at the trial for Tyrion. These people are Ser Davos, Arya, Sansa, Bran, Brienne, Robin Arryn, Grey Worm, a man from Dorne, and another unknown man from Highgarden. We could see Bran as being one of the most wisest and respected members of this council given his talents. Could Bran come to represent the Father? Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyrion is revealed as a Targaryen during this time. This leak does mention Bran having a vision about him at his trial. Tyrion could possibly be the child of Mad King Aerys and not Tywin Lannister. If Tyrion is a Targaryen, he could represent the third head of the dragon from Rhaegar's prophecy. This council will have a tough decision to make about Tyrion, but will choose to kill him, thus ending the Targaryen bloodline for all. A song will play at the end of the finale, and it will tell a story about how Jon defeated the Whites and ended the Targaryens. A song of ice and fire. Oh, and what about Cersei? Well, Euron mortally wounds Jaime, and Jaime desperately tries to make his way back to Cersei so he can die with his lover. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it. Arya finds his dead body. Then, disguised as Jaime, she walks into Cersei's room and pledges his love for her. He then strangles her to death, just like the Valonqar prophecy predicted, and Cercei believes that her brother has killed her. Thus, Arya will have closed the brown eyes of the Freys, the blue eyes of the Whites, and the green eyes of the Lannisters. Okay guys, during the video we watched the Tower of Joy scene. We saw Ned Stark kill Arthur Dayne, known as the best fighter in all of Westeros. His sword is legendary and is said to have been made from the remains of a fallen star. Once Ned makes it to his sister Lyanna, he finds her close to death. In the books, Ned says the room smelled of blood and roses, not smoke and salt. Melisandre states, when the red star bleeds and the darkness gathers, Azor Ahai shall be born again amidst smoke and salt. However, Lyanna does give us this hint.
Jon's real name
His name is Aegon Targaryen. You have to protect him. Promise me, Ned.
The prince who was promised. There is evidence of smoke and salt, however, in the scene where Jon is brought back to life by Melisandre. She cleans Jon's stab wounds with salt water to disinfect the area. She burns Jon's hair, making the room even more smoky than it probably already is. Could her amulet possibly be the bleeding star as well? Jon is born beneath it, and all signs point to him fulfilling this prophecy. Could we possibly see Jon create Lightbringer in tonight's episode, like Azor Ahai did by stabbing Daenerys through the heart? Another thing I wanted to add was that Jon didn't kill the Night King, Arya did, but I feel like he kind of helped.
Sticking with the pointy end.
I know which end to use.
Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. That's it for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed my theory, and we'll see if it comes true. I know the show is coming to an end, but let me know if you guys would like to see more Game of Thrones content. I really enjoyed making these videos, so maybe we'll do more in the future. And just remember, if you ever play rock, paper, scissors with Sir Davos, always pick paper. And finally guys, here's a sneak peek at tonight's episode. So Dany, I have the rightful claim to the throne.
You underestimate my power!